Yeah, yeah. Fresh out the cell with a plan and a boo. Ain't clip beeping, but my heart's beating for you. Let's go. Met her on a prison pen pal site. She said you cute even in that orange light. Now I'm home and I'm free, kinda on probation. She picked me up in a Prius, pure elation. Got a teardrop tat and a heart full of dreams. She brought cupcakes and some government cheese. I said, girl, you a snack, maybe even a feast. She said, you just hungry cause you live with the beast. Love after lockup, wild and free. Got no keys, but she got the key. From yard time to FaceTime, look at us glow. From prison phone calls to reality show. Love after lockup, we don't play. Tinder got nothing on JPay. I did my time, now I'm doing hers. Doing laundry and love, both in spurts.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Love After Lockup Lockdown, where we are covering Season 2, Episode 48. As always, you can find us in our Facebook group and on Instagram at Love After Lockup Lockdown. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Lisa.
And this week we're covering Season 2, Episode 48. This is an episode of Life After Lockup titled Royal Flush. Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Just want to say that our Facebook group finally reached 100,000 members, and that is amazing. Thank you for everyone who has joined. I also wanted to say something about the stickers. We were originally going to do a contest. Now we are just doing, you will get a sticker pack of 5 stickers that I've designed mailed to you if you rate and review the podcast on our actual Facebook page, which everyone is doing, and that's wonderful. I believe we have 10 or 12 people who've just done it. I'm going to order more stickers, so we'll be sending more of those out. And we just want you to support women podcasters because this is seriously a man's world.
Wonderful. And this week we are starting with Megan, Michael, Sarah, and Maria. Sarah and Michael are arguing over whether she has custody of the kids or not.
Yeah, Michael says it's not in the papers, and then he says that he has no papers. Well, he can't be mailed something if he doesn't have an actual place where he stays. He's all over the place. He's never home. We talked about this. We don't know where the hell this dude is. How do you get something mailed to you when you're like gallivanting all over the universe, staying at, I don't know, Megan's, Maria's, Florida, Rochester, Michigan? Where are you? How do you get these papers? You can't be served. They can't just mail them to you. You have to be served.
I would guess they would try to serve him at his mom's house, but it's hard to say. And she can also, I mean, I don't know how it is in New York, but in Ohio, you can publish in the paper if you have tried to get in touch with someone and you can't. So it's not like you have to find them. There are other ways to get it done.
Yeah.
So Sarah tells him he was served the papers and he insists he wasn't. And I doubt that even if he was served the papers, that he would look at them, read
or
them
understand them. Yeah, comprehend them. Yeah. Probably not, knowing Michael and his stupidity. So he's just like, well, she filed this behind my back. She filed for custody of my girls. And he says that no court, there was nothing. He didn't sign for anything. You don't have to. That's not how this works.
Right. And Sarah and the therapist both try to explain to him that just because he believes something doesn't make that the truth. You can't just say it and that's the way it is. No, you don't have custody. Well, yeah, she does. It doesn't matter how many times you say no, that's still the facts.
He doesn't. I just think that well, it's very confusing for someone who spent so much time under like the law that he thinks that like rules don't apply to other areas of his life. Like it only applies to like arrests and crimes, but not to, I don't know, the custody of your children. Everything is legal in this world. Everything has rules.
I think he was genuinely surprised that this was the case because he didn't think Sarah would do anything against him. She's so in love with me, she'll only do what I want. And he feels like he's been in control this whole time. So now that he isn't, he doesn't know how to handle that either.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe that he was just shocked that she actually did do something legally, and he definitely didn't believe it, but he's going to have to now. The counselor says that, like, her having custody means that they live with her. It doesn't mean that he doesn't still have rights to visit the children. He just can't just do whatever he wants. It's her say.
And through all of this, Sarah is feeling bad that Michael doesn't understand what's happening. You don't worry about Michael. Fuck Michael. Like, worry about you, worry about your girls. It doesn't matter. Stop feeling bad for him. That's part of the problem.
Mhm. She says that the reason why she filed, well, I would say one of the reasons is that they can't be taken out of the state. That's a rule even if you didn't file for anything. He can't just take the kids to another state without her know. It's still kidnapping even if you don't have a document.
No, not in Ohio, it's not.
No?
No.
Oh, well, I mean, here, one of the main things that they do is they tell you, like, in court, and I guess, I guess, I don't know, maybe you can take them without having a document, but not that I know. I mean, because if she didn't know where he was taking the girls, he has them, and then all of a sudden they're in Florida, that
Correct.
would be kidnapping. I mean, at least here it would be.
Maybe in New York it
Yeah.
would be, but here it wouldn't be because if neither of them have custody of the children, they both have custody of the children. And if he's taking them somewhere, he has the legal right to do that if you have not established custody in some way.
Mhm. Well, here, when you do establish custody and you do have an agreement, there is a stipulation here that you have to live with if you have to live within a certain area if you want to take the children, and if you live out of state, then you have to make another agreement on that. So, like, say I live in New York, I live in a certain town of New York, and my spouse lives within 30, 40 minutes of me, or my baby daddy, whatever. I can't I once I have, like, a custody agreement, I can't just, like, move and then continue that sort of visitation that I have. It has to be changed to allow that.
Well, that's the same here, but you're talking
Yeah,
about after custody is already established.
yeah,
I'm talking about
yeah, yeah,
prior to custody being established.
yeah, yeah.
So Sarah starts talking about how he was just with Megan and now he's with Maria. And she tells the therapist that he brought Maria with him on this visit.
Mhm. Yeah. So Sarah says that she's seen Maria many times on the bank and Cash App statements.
And she tells Michael that she's happy that he's found the love of his life finally.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, it was Megan and now it's Maria. As far as she knew, it was Megan until she saw those statements, and then she started seeing other women's names popping up. So she says also that Megan stayed for a year and a half with no sex and spent $12,000 on him.
Somehow, I don't understand why. Sarah says if she ever needed lessons on how to lie and manipulate, she could certainly learn from him.
I was wondering something. It doesn't seem as if Maria would have the means to go giving Michael money. So I'm wondering if the name Maria that, like, she's seeing on the statements is money going to, like, I I like, where Maria has children, right?
That
She
doesn't mean she
doesn't.
doesn't have money.
You
That we
think she's
see
giving.
yes, I think she's giving him money. I don't think he would
Yeah.
entertain her if she wasn't benefiting him in some way, and it's not because she's overly attractive. I mean, what is it? It's he's gotta be giving him something or he wouldn't have any interest in her.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe they were both playing the game because they were talking about like threesomes and stuff, that maybe they were both like getting money off women together collectively, and that's how they're earning money together by scamming women.
I don't know that they ever say what her job is, but I thought
Mhm.
now this
Maybe
is
prostitute.
hearsay. Yeah, that's what I heard, but, like, I don't haven't seen any proof of it. Somebody just told me that it was on her arrest record.
A lot of people said it was.
Yeah. So maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how she's making her money. She could be a fucking attorney for all we know.
Doubt it, but okay.
No, I doubt it too. The therapist asks where in the divorce process they are, and he says he's waiting for it. And she's like, why are you waiting? Like, you're the one who wants it. Why don't you do it?
Yeah. This part just like made me crack up, and I hope you heard it too. Michael says that he's just like waiting for everything to happen, but he said he's being more strategic
So
about
I was
it.
trying to sound that one out too. I was like, strategic. And I rewound it several times.
Strategic?
Strategic? I don't know. It was strategic.
Thirsty-ish?
Yeah. Whatever that was. I was like, oh.
Uh-huh.
But I think he deludes himself because he says the benefit of still being married to her is that he can come see the girls and spend time with them. You don't have to be married to her for this.
No, and it doesn't like automatically give you rights either. And at this point, they're legally separated. I I I think there's just mass confusion here as to what how this all goes. He's connecting marriage with the rights to his children. It's not the same thing.
But that's his claim. That's why he says he's done everything he's done with Sarah. That's why he lied to her. That's why he married her.
Yeah.
And he's got to continue with this lie. Like, oh, if I didn't do all of these things, she was going to take my girls. She was never going to take them. All you're doing is
No.
hurting her and in turn hurting your children by doing this, by acting this way.
Mm-hmm.
He says that her still holding on to things in the relationship is what messes up their communication. If she would move on, I think he's right in that. Like, if she were to stop trying to rekindle this relationship over and over, I mean, I think he's probably right. It does interfere with their communication.
Mm-hmm. But he is stringing her along, and we'll see that later. He is still causing this somehow.
Mm-hmm.
She keeps falling for it, but he is not innocent in this. He's not by any means not confusing Sarah. Let's just put it that way. And Michael says that Sarah knows he's a good dad. And I'm like, based on what? Like, based on what? When he's actually with them? And they're monitored when he's with them. Sarah's always there when he's with them.
But he says why? He says because there's no woman in her right mind that would want to be with someone who isn't a good father, and he knows for a fact she wants to be back with him. Those two things for her are not the same. She doesn't want to be with him because he's a good father. I don't know why she wants to be with him, but that's not why. And he's not a good father. You can't you can't be like, oh, she thinks I am because she wants to be with me. I don't know why she wants to sleep with you. She loves you for some reason.
This whole thing is just a giant mess. I can't with this. This says it all. He does say if I tell Sarah, let's get back together, we'd be right back together real quick. And
he's
it is
right.
true.
Mm-hmm.
It is true.
I would see it now. You can't say because we haven't seen her lately, but based on her behavior on this show so far, I would think she would still get back together with him, despite the news of him just getting arrested again and living on the street. I mean, the way that they're making it sound, even Maria's done with his ass now.
I would really, really hope that that is not the case, that she'd still not just have this undying need to save this man and be with him. I would hope not.
I would hope not.
He's a mess and a waste case at this point.
Next up, Lacey, John, and Shane. And Lacey's dad is fishing with the kids, and she walks up.
Yeah, I think that her daughter Gia that caught the blue fish, and then Grandpa says that she outfished all of them.
Her dad asks her what's new, and Lacey says she has just been to see John. Now, we know this is not information her dad is going to take too kindly.
No, the way that she put it was she's the, sneaky, sneaky. She said, I saw someone you don't like today. Like, he can't figure that out. And then tells him it's just John. Like, what are we, 15? Just tell him, stop.
She knew he was going to be pissed because he was like, I thought he was in prison. Well, yeah, so did Lacey.
Mm-hmm. And Dad's like, well, why would you do that? And Lacey just tells him that Shane cheated on her. And of course, that's, two wrongs make a right in Lacey's world.
So I think that Lacey told her dad that John's family was paying for him to be in treatment. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I wrote it down, but then I was kind of questioning it. My note says, I think that's what she said.
Sorry. We know that they have money. It's been spoken before. They own a business. So I know we've seen many times on the show when these people have family that has money, they take care of their little boy.
So her dad says he's pissed and can't wait to talk to Shane, but John isn't going to make the situation any easier. And he's right.
Dad says if you want to go down Heroin Head Road, that's the road you're going to go down alone. That one made me laugh.
Yeah, he said neither the kids nor me will be a part of it. That's a big threat. You know what I mean? You're going to lose everything if you keep up on this path you're on. And her dad says that he'd rather beat John's ass before speaking to him. And they have almost come to blows before. I mean, we've seen that. They do not like each other at all.
Yeah.
Who do you think would win?
Her dad's Italian, and they're scary. Scary men. They have very, very bad tempers. You were talking about between Dad and
John, yeah.
John. Who do you think would win between John and Shane?
John.
Yeah.
Unless he was fucked up, and then maybe Shane would win.
Yeah.
John looks like he's got big boy muscles.
Shane's got soft muscles.
Lacey says she thought when she married Shane that she would just stop loving John. Why the fuck would you think that would happen? Like, getting married is symbolic. It's not like something in you actually changes.
No, it definitely doesn't. And so she's trying to convince her dad of this shit, right? And Lacey's like, well, he's trying to get clean. And Dad says and Dad says he's been trying to get clean since the day you met him. This has never been any different. This has been a very long road. 15 years of the same shit.
Right. He tells her to get her head out of her ass and take care of her kids. That's great advice. I mean, in general, that's great advice for all of us all the time. And it happens to everyone at some point. We all have our head up our own asses at some fucking point in our lives, and we make bad decisions. And this is the time when you need to listen. Like, Dad knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Definitely. Lacey says she doesn't know why he would cheat on her, and she's basically saying that now he might have used her because we're talking about Shane here. I have a house, I have cars, I have a career, I have my shit together. I don't feel Shane used her or tried to use her. I really just don't. He's young. I don't feel it's using in the way that we've seen the using go on the show. I don't think it's an intentional use of Lacey.
And that's the key word right there, is the intentional use. Because I think that to some degree he probably did use her, but the intention of it, I don't think it was there. And if there was intention to use her, it wasn't with the same malice that we have seen through other couples, other people on the show.
That's exactly right.
Now, Lacey tells her dad that the heart wants what the heart wants, and she still has feelings for John that there's nothing she can do about. Well, there is something you can do about them. You don't have to act just because you feel that way, particularly when you change your mind every few minutes. Like, if you're jumping back and forth.
I know. So what is she going to do now? She's going to divorce Shane, go back with John, and then when things go bad with John, then she's going to go back to Shane. Like, what are we doing here? Or are we going to find another person to replace the shortcomings of your current relationship?
She hasn't said anything like on her Facebook page about being with anybody else. I know she's not with Shane because he posts all the time being in the gym and showing off his muscles, his thirst traps. I don't see anything from John, but I think that him and Lacey aren't together from anything I can tell.
No, I'm particularly fond of the workout videos where he has his vape and he does the big cloud, like the dragon cloud. Those are my favorite. I'm partial to those.
Oh, well, Lacey's dad tells her that she has a lot to tell Shane, and she says she doesn't know if she's going to tell him at all. And her dad says, well, someone's going to tell him. And she goes, well, you better not tell him. And he goes, why wouldn't I? That's right. That's right.
I feel like he's definitely going to. There's no way.
He wants her to do it, but he will do it.
Yeah.
That's relatable. You don't want your kids to do wrong, but you're not going to let them get away with being a piece of shit either.
I also think that dad's main concern in all of this is the kids in the end, because this is a mess that could mess up the kids. And I really don't think that it has much to do with Lacey. It has to do with the kids. He mentions the kids like all the time. What about your
Right.
kids? The kids, the kids, the kids. And Lacey never mentions the kids.
Very rarely. And yeah, I mean, her dad is very focused on the kids, and somebody needs to be.
Yeah.
Next up, Andrea and Lamar, and Andrea tells Lamar to go look in his jacket, and she says she found something in his pocket that changes everything, and it's embarrassing and shameful.
Mm-hmm. She says, I don't want to be in a marriage where I find condoms in my husband's jacket. And we know from last episode that that's what she found.
So she says she wants to kill him, which we has already witnessed when she threatens her entire family over breakfast. That's such a fucked up thing to do.
That was weird because of the look on her face. It was so creepy and weird. I actually believed her for a half a second.
I believe
And
she
I think
would.
the kids did. It was so weird.
Yes, it was.
He says, I don't even wear that jacket. You know that my brothers wear that jacket. I guess.
Well, let's not leave out the part where she beats the crap out of him. Lacey's putting hands on both Shane and John, and now Andrea is putting hands on Lamar. Like, there's a tremendous amount of domestic violence that occurs on this show that nobody does shit about.
She has every right to be angry about this and every right to be upset. Let's just put it that way. Okay. I would absolutely, hands down, be upset. But that doesn't mean that you get to beat the shit out of someone.
You can be as mad as you want, but you're 100% right. Keep your hands to yourself. So I thought, though, that he had said that Dulo was using his jacket, but it was actually his other brother that he was talking about.
Squee, right? Squee?
So, yes, his name is Squee Bastard. So he's got Dulo, Squee Bastard, and Nuck is what they call Lamar.
I'm going to take a wild guess that based upon the fact that his name is, it's not Lamar. That's not his real first name. It's Albert or something like that. Yeah. I would have to look it up, but yeah, it's not Lamar, but I'm going to take a wild guess that these are not their real names, street names, rap names. I don't know.
I don't think Squee Bastard is on his birth certificate.
We also know that Lamar's last name is Jackson and not Bastard.
It's his middle name.
Different dads.
Squee Bastard Jackson.
I don't know.
Then this lady full of herself says, let me see your phone. And then she throws it and it sounds like it breaks.
Yeah, I watched this with my husband and we weren't sure if it hit a mirror or a glass table, but it sounded like glass.
It sure did.
Yeah, it didn't sound like the phone. I mean, it sounded like the phone probably also broke on on top of it, but something else broke.
So he says he was in prison for years and he was never caught with nothing. So why would he get caught with condoms? That's a pretty good point. Like, you've spent most of your life hiding shit. Why would you be so careless as to just leave condoms in your pocket? Now, I will say that this was posted on our Facebook group about whether or not people thought they were Lamar's condoms. And by far, people thought they were, which is surprising because I was convinced, and I still am, that they probably weren't his.
Yeah, I posted that because I wanted to know what people said, what
Yeah.
people were gonna say and what they thought. And one of the many things we heard, and some people in our group are like COs, are police officers, and I also watch a lot of body cam, and the number one thing they say is, "Those are not my pants. These are not my pants. This is not my jacket. This
Yeah.
is not my car. That's not my purse. My sister borrowed my purse. My brother borrowed my pants." All the time. It's a constant. They have drugs on them or anything else that they don't want someone to find, and immediately it's someone else's.
But let's think about how the next part unfolds, because Lamar calls Squee and he calls him on speakerphone and he says, "Hey man, did you leave something in my pocket?" And Squee was able to say what was in his pocket, and he goes, "What color were they?" Squee knew what color they were. How does he know specifically what he's talking about if he didn't leave them in his pocket?
I think she said somewhere along the way, "Oh, you could have texted him while I was sitting here," or something like that. Like, I think she was like, didn't she insinuate that he somehow had him set up to say that when she was laying in the bed with a blanket over her head? Like, "Oh, you could have told him to say that." I
Probably,
thought.
and
Mhm.
technically he could have, but I don't think that they were Lamar's.
Yeah, I mean, it did seem like he called him pretty quick. Like, I didn't think there was any other use to the phone in between the time that she threw it against the mirror or the glass table and then him calling Squee Bastard.
And he handed her a phone. She was like, "Give me your phone," and he
Yeah.
hands her the phone. So it's not like he was hiding it from her.
Yeah. Then Andrea brings up the fact that he's got bitches on his Instagram.
Oh my
And
god.
I'll just say she's just going to take his phone and just pull it right up right then and there.
She says maybe him and Squee were fucking bitches together. Yeah, I'm sure that's what was happening.
I love her language. She's just so Mormon. She's the most Mormon ever. Lamar's brother says that they were the Magnum Gold packs, and that is, like you said, that is literally what they were. And I don't know if you can just like go, "Oh, I guess like if Andrea found something and she was mad, it must have been, oh, I don't know, let's just say it was gold condoms." Like, that's pretty like,
That's what I'm saying. The chance that he would just know what Lamar was talking about. And he called him up out of the blue. He was like, "Dude, did you leave something in my pocket?" And at first he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Dude, oh yeah, there are condoms in there."
yeah.
See, this pissed me off too because she tells Lamar, there are lots of men who wish their wives hovered over them. And that's bullshit. I have never met a man who's like, "I wish my wife would watch over every single thing that I do and irritate the hell out of me and also threaten to poison me and the children over breakfast."
No, I think that the way she worded that was terrible, and I really think that that's exactly what she meant, and that is not true. I think what some men do want women to do is to just, like, keep their lives straight and help them stay in the straight and narrow, but not watch over every little fucking thing that they do like a hawk.
Yeah, nobody wants to be hovered on. Like, I don't buy
No.
that. But he tells her that she doesn't even make sense. And I, like we said, I understand why she's upset, but I also believe Lamar and Squee. I just don't think he could have pulled that out of his ass with no preparation.
Yeah.
Next up, Angela and Tony. And Angela pulls up, and Tony is sort of dressed up, and he tells her that he has a surprise for her. Couldn't you tuck your fucking shirt in, dude? Like, how hard would that have been?
This whole country bumpkin ass scene just killed me. He tells her, "Oh, put this dress on," and like as if it was like this fancy expensive dress, and she just like puts on like this little
The
number,
dress.
like a sheen dress, right? And so she's always cute, all right. I mean, he must have picked it out. I don't think he bought it. He probably grabbed it out of her closet and was
Oh
just
my
like,
God,
"Here,
probably. I didn't
put
even
it
think
on."
about that. He probably did.
And he she has a blindfold on. He's like leading her, and then he like unblindfolds her, and there's this like makeshift platform with like lights on, and it's like leaning in. And it's got some like a table and some chairs and champagne. And this thing looks so freaking rickety. And I was watching this with my husband, and he goes, "Oh, it's a makeshift patio."
Yeah, I think it was pallets. I think he used pallets to make that.
Yeah, he goes, "All it's missing is a roof." And then he's like, "It looked like he used zip ties on it."
Honestly, I would not
Moving
be
his chair.
surprised at all if he did. He says he's
He
doing this
tried.
because he loves her with all of his heart, but everything they've been going through recently is negative. Well, why? Why, Tony? Why?
Hmm. Yeah. She says that it's very, very hard to trust someone that's been lying to you. And absolutely, she's correct. And Tony continues with his romance here, whatever this is about. And he pulls out her chair, and then he says, "Here you go, madame." And I was like, "Oh man, that's so cringe." Like, if someone called me that, I'd be like, "Come on."
Yeah, I don't know. He says that considering the things he's done in the past, he feels like a lucky man for her giving him another chance. I should fucking think so.
But why he doesn't love her. He doesn't even I don't even know if he likes her. Like he's just doing this because he needs a place to fucking live. That's all. He's just trying to please her so that she stops like riding his ass and he can just exist and live his life feeding off of her.
I mean, he knows how to get to her because the very first thing she says when she sees it is she goes, "Oh, you love me, don't you? You don't have high enough standards, Angela. Like, you deserve more than this."
Terrible. He he says the cringiest fucking things. He says, "Oh, it's easy loving you." And Angela says, "Well, it's not so easy loving you." And I loved that part. I was like, "Yup,
Right?
yup."
I I love that she tells him, it's not all just
Mhm,
he's able to talk her into stuff, unfortunately, and that's how it gets as far as it does. But I like that she does tell him at least every once in a while where to stick it.
mhm,
She says that she loves him so much and all the doubt she's had about him in the past is irrelevant.
mhm. Yeah, she's kind of tearing up. She says she doesn't want to lose him. She does want to respect his freedom. And then she tells him to grab the steaks before they burn.
And of course they're having steak, right? I think that's the only thing that they're eating anymore. So he asks her if she still wants a beach wedding, and she says yes. And he tells her that he wants to get married as soon as possible. And I am sure you do, Tony.
Yeah, he kisses Angela. She says she just wants Tony to realize how short life can be. Much shorter for Angela because Angela is a lot older than Tony. So, yeah, absolutely like her like clock is ticking. She wants to live a good life and this dude's not getting it. The fact that Tony wants to get married as soon as possible, I don't know why, and the thought that ran through my head is he's trying to get money or something by marrying her. He thinks that he'll have some sort of right to her stuff.
He's trying for something, and I don't know what it
Mhm.
is. It could be that he thinks he's going to be entitled to half of her stuff. And he knows that doing these things gets him what he wants because he just admits it freely. He tells us that he feels like she trusts him a lot more after that night, and he's completely ready to get married as soon as possible. He said he hopes that she will give him all the freedom that he wants. So she said she'd respect his freedom, but he wants all of his freedom. Well, you can't have both things. And if you love her, you don't need, what is this freedom that you think you need? She's not holding you back from doing much other than fucking hookers, right?
Exactly. Yeah, all she's trying to do is just make sure that he doesn't do the wrong things when he does normal things. She can't trust him to go to the store, go to work, be in the house while she goes out and has tacos with her friends.
Mm-hmm. Right. And worrying about what somebody's going to do behind your back constantly will make you crazy.
Absolutely fucking crazy. Trust me.
She says some of her friends and family may think that he's using her because his actions may come off like that. Now, I love you, Angela, but that's exactly how it comes off because that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
And she says, looking into his eyes, she knows he loves her. Next up, Clint and Tracy. And Tracy has been missing for 2 days now. And she finally calls Clint.
I can't wait to be done with these two. Not that I don't like them, but this is so depressing and sad. Clint looks like absolute shit. He it, so it starts with him just chain smoking, and he looks like hell, haggard, worn out, just had enough life. He's on the phone with Tracy in this scene, and he's telling her that he wants her to go to rehab, and she's still giving him a hard time.
And he says he wants to convince her that she needs the help. And she tells him that he's always on everybody's side but hers. But the truth is, all he's doing is caring about her.
Yeah. But this is the rationalizing that someone with this severe of a drug problem would do. Like, you don't want to let me have my drugs, so when I want them, I don't want it's just, to her it's rational, like right now. We know it's not, but to her, for him to restrict her from having her drugs is cruel, basically.
And he gets frustrated and he tells her if that's how she really feels, then she should just hang up. He's been trying to get a hold of her for days. Like, this is why I feel like I'm not diagnosing him, but it's almost like this bipolar situation where he feels very strongly one way, but give him a second and he's going to feel very strongly the other way, and he'll bounce back and forth throughout one conversation. Like, I want you to get help. I love you so much. You're my goddess. And then, well, just hang up and never speak to me again if you're not going to do exactly what I want. And while he wants what's best for her, I just don't think that this back and forth and freaking out is the way to get it either.
No, he says you can only have one goddess, and Tracy is mine. He wants her to be his goddess again, and right now she's not. Okay. Enough with the goddess stuff. I think you've lost your goddess forever. I don't think she's ever going to get back there. Tracy says to him, "Can I come by and get my dope?" And Clint throws the phone and then is just like, "No, I can't do it. I can't do this."
Right. He told her that he didn't even know there was any in the house and that he hates that it's there. And she tells him where in the house it is. And he tells her that he isn't touching it. But that's not true. Not that he's going to use it, but he's going to flush it. He found it and flushed it.
Yeah. Yeah, she's being abusive. She's calling him a son of a bitch, but then she's not in the right state of mind. Let's keep that in mind. He's saying, this, I don't want this in my house, like you said. He says, "This is my wake-up call. She's always cared about drugs more than me." Where have we heard this statement before?
Unfortunately. And that's an effect of addiction. It's not a moral failing of a person. It's just an effect of the addiction, unfortunately. I did notice when he flushed the drugs down the toilet that he really needs to clean it, if we're just bringing up shit to complain about.
Yeah, it looked like a fucking mess in there, man. It looked like it probably smelled. Like cigarettes and regret. I don't know.
He was going through some deep depression. I mean, it was a
Oh
depression
yeah.
house.
Oh yeah. He says you think that someone would choose rehab over jail. You think, you think, but I've heard with the former job I did, I've heard a lot of shit, and I will tell you right now, they absolutely choose jail over rehab a lot.
It's
Because
unfortunate.
in jail you can still use drugs, and in rehab it's more restrictive, unfortunately.
So, yeah, speaking of unfortunately for Alice, Clint decides to call her and tell her that he's stressed and he flushed Tracy's drugs down the toilet.
Yeah, he tells her I'm expecting her to do time and expecting the worst. Mom's like, "Look at what she's done to you. Just look at she hasn't caused you any joy or happiness."
Now, he argues a little bit with her and says that at first she brought him joy. And Alice is like, "Oh, you mean when she stole your car?" Thug life right there.
And then in the next breath, he's like, "Yeah, I'd be lying if I said my life was better with Tracy in it." Like you said, the bipolar, the back and forth and the back and forth. One minute she's a goddess and she's the best thing in the world, and he, he wants Tracy in his life, and that she made him happy, and then in the next breath, his life will be better without her in it. Which one is it?
I don't think he can decide. He's having trouble giving up on her. He says there's only so much a person can do for their partner, and sometimes love just ain't enough. And that's true. You can love somebody, but you can't love them into health.
No, he says he doesn't feel comfortable staying at the house, and then mom says, "Go stay, come stay with her." I think that the reason why he doesn't feel comfortable staying there is because he knows that Tracy's going to show up and she's just going to come in guns blazing looking for her drugs, and he's flushed them.
Could be. Next up, Brittany and Marcelino, and Brittany's reading a book to Gio, and he says, "I think Daddy's mad at the puppy."
I mean, how can you like, all right, I love dogs, I love puppies, but you definitely can get mad at a puppy a lot.
Of course you can. They do puppy things.
I know. It's like having a toddler. Um, a little slightly easier toddler. So the dog's name is Doodle, by the way, which is super cute. Out of the blue here, cousin James, while the camera crew's there, just happens to call Brittany
Come
to
the
see
fuck
if
on.
Marceline. Huh?
Come the fuck on. You buy this that he just happened to call him when Marcelino was out saying he was playing poker with him?
I know. It just is all perfect, right? Yeah. Well, is Marcelino around? And he's supposed to be with cousin James playing poker. And obviously he's not.
He also called Brittany's cell phone to ask if Marcelino was there. Why wouldn't he call Marcelino's cell phone?
I'm gonna guess it's off because then we see Brittany calling Marcelino's cell phone to see why he's not with cousin James, and it's just like going to voicemail.
I feel like production set this up.
I feel like you're right.
So there's a quick recall of earlier in the night when he told her he was going to go play poker with his cousin. And like you said, he doesn't answer. She calls over and over again with no success. And she says he's shown it with his actions that he's very trustworthy and dependable, and he's always where he says he's going to be when he says he's going to be there. And that's something about Marcelino I have said a number of times is he's very reliable, like he's dependable.
Hmm.
And she says that this is very out of character for him, and she wants to know why he lied to her. That's fair.
Could you imagine if this was Andrea?
Oh my, yeah, she'd beat the hell out of him.
Yep.
That's one thing you can say about Brittany is she never raised her hands to Marcelino.
No.
Not that she never raised her hands to anybody, but that's for another day. Next up, Cheryl and Josh, and Cheryl is sitting around a fire with her parents, and her kids are roasting marshmallows.
oh, she's finally with her children after all this time. And Cheryl says that she's excited to be back in Michigan for now.
Until you meet the next one.
And just to ditch your kids again, go off riding longhorns in the pasture next to a castle. She's she says she could feel herself fall out of love with Josh. I don't think she was in love with Josh at the end here.
I don't think so either. I'm not sure why they were trying to make it work as hard as they were because I feel like both of them didn't want to be with each other. Once they broke up, I
Yeah.
don't understand why they got back together. Her dad says he knows that this all hurt her a lot and he's so sad for that, but he's happy that she's finally used to using the head on her shoulders.
Mhm. Yeah. She goes back to the old saying that when Josh was first released and when he was in prison, he was all about her, and when he got out of prison, he just didn't need her anymore. It's the risk you run.
It is, but she's still blaming his mom for it.
Mhm.
But then she says she contradicts herself because she says that she doesn't regret being with him, but he's like a tick that she had to flick off of her shoulder. Always insulting him, you know? He's like an old computer.
Yeah. I I didn't see that Josh did enough shit wrong to annoy her this bad. I think that everything and everyone annoys Cheryl. The wind annoys Cheryl. Everything. Breathing annoys Cheryl.
I don't know. I don't know what Cheryl's issue is. Everything's perfect if it's her way.
Yeah.
So they cut to Josh and he's working on a roof. And he says that since they broke up, he's been working and saving up money. And as soon as he finds a place to live, he can finally get his ankle monitor removed and he won't have a curfew any longer.
Yeah, he also got a promotion. He's been working overtime because we know that Cheryl thought that he could just leave work whenever to go look at apartments.
Right. So his coworker said, well, there must have been something good about her for you to be with her. And he was like, "Oh, yeah, you don't find somebody who just has that loyalty. They ride with you for 2 years." He's still hanging on to that because he's not saying anything good about Cheryl other than she's stuck by him.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He did say that he felt trapped after a bit, though. So, yeah, because he thought that he owed her something, and he just kept saying, "I owe her, I owe her, I owe her." Not,
Right.
"I love her, and this is why I love her." Just that I owe her because she
Mhm.
kept telling you you owe her.
Exactly. So Cheryl says she's not giving up on her heart, but she's being more cautious with her heart and her children, and I should fucking hope so.
She is not being more careful with children or her heart. All right. She said she's going to find a new inmate, by the way, at the end of that.
That's great. She did say that she believes that love is out there and maybe hers is out there in the form of a puppy. I don't think she needs a puppy.
No.
Next up, Megan, Michael, Sarah, and Maria. Sarah asks him if he knows why she goes to therapy, and she says it's because of him, because she doesn't know how to handle him. That is not a fair thing to put on him. I do not like Michael. I have no respect for Michael, but to tell somebody that they're the reason you're going to therapy, I don't know. That seems fucked up to me.
And as she's saying this, I was thinking, I remembered her saying that she's been going to that therapist since she was a child because she lost her mom.
Right. It's not because of him. She's been there for
Yeah.
years and years.
Hmm.
She tells him that she's not the enemy and he just walks away from her.
Hmm. Yeah. Randomly, he just says, "Okay, I'm gonna follow your rules." I did. Did you catch that?
I think he just realized like there's nothing that I can do in this situation, so I might as well. I mean, he's cornered. What other choice does he have? He walked
Yeah.
out acting like a fucking dick, comes back, like what are your other options? She says that if he wants to see the kids and he communicates with her, her door is always open to him.
Hmm. Yeah. She wants to have a civil relationship with him. Um. Is this her that says this? Do you think I'm the enemy and the worst person in the world?
Mm-hmm.
So she just is saying to him, you know, I'm not the enemy. You think I'm the enemy, that am I the worst person in the world? I don't really think Sarah's ever really done much to Michael. It's all been Michael to Sarah.
Right. Sarah's biggest flaw is wanting Michael back, regardless of
Yeah.
anything that happens. But when she questions him, he just looks away and ignores her. That seems to be his thing. And he says that one thing that bothers him about her is if they are in communication, there will always be a connection that the next person won't understand. Well, back it the fuck up. I thought there was no communication. You didn't love her. You don't care about her. You want everyone but her. But now there's something that nobody else is going to understand. Where did this come from?
And unfortunately, you two have children together, so you are going to have to communicate for a very long time, likely into your when the children are adults. They're going to have kids, they're going to get married. You're going to have communication with this person for a long time if you both stay in the children's lives.
Right.
So that's not like a thing. You can't just ignore each other when you have children.
Definitely. She says that they have the potential to be best friends and they made a mistake by getting into a relationship. That very well could be. But here they are, and now what are they going to do?
Yeah, too little, too late. He says that even though Sarah and I wanted to keep it about the kids, there's just this force that they can't let go. Now it's the word they. Before it was just her, and now he's saying they.
Right. So he asks if he can see the kids that night, and she asks him if it's just going to be him. He says yes, and so she agrees to it.
Hmm. Yeah, he wants to see the kids tonight alone without Maria.
Yeah, and he says Maria's not going to be upset because he'll be spending time with the girls. We hope that's what he's going to be doing, but I think we know
Mhm.
better.
Yeah, and oh, she trusts Maria. Don't forget, let's. Maria said how much she trusts him.
Yes. Next, a quick check in with Angela and Tony, and they go into a flower shop to look for wedding flowers. And the woman asks if there's a budget, and she says no.
Yeah, Angela's the like sugar daddy here. She's like, oh, there's no budget.
Whatever
Get
he
get
wants.
my yes, whatever Tony Baloney wants is fine by me.
Yeah.
Here's my platinum credit card.
He tells the florist what he had in mind, and they think he's so adorable because he knows what he wants. Okay.
Hmm.
They don't know him very well.
No, I would like an arch, he says, with white and a yellow accent.
He does know what he wants.
Yeah.
Next up, Brittany and Marcelino, and a woman tells Marcelino before they go any further, it's $200. Cash only, baby.
I love how they set this up to look like this. He was going to like an escort's house. It's
Right?
so ridiculous. they they had to find a woman with giant jugs
To
to
be a
make it
poker
look like
coach. Yeah.
yes, to be a poker coach. And I don't doubt for a second that this woman is a poker coach because of course you can be a woman with giant boobies and look attractive and be a poker coach. But did we have to take this woman as the poker coach? Of course we did because we wanted to play it up as if Marcelino was cheating on Brittany.
Right. He says poker is what he knows how to do to support his family, but recently he's lost a few $1,000s, which equals a couple of mortgage payments, and that's pretty significant.
So he's going to learn how to become a better poker player so that he can earn more money to support his family because this is what he wants to do as a job and doesn't want to get another job. And so at this poker player coach's house, he's going to learn how to be a better poker player. And from what I gather, she's basically telling him, like, you need to be able to bet really big and take a chance, or you're never going to get there. And he's like, well, I can't be making bets that lose my mortgage money.
She's kind of fucked up. Like, I don't know, because she tells him that she can't turn him into a champion, but she can figure out why he sucks. And he's like, I don't suck. You know?
Yeah, I don't think he sucks because he's pulled it off for a while
For a
now.
while, yeah. I mean, he's supporting a family on what he's making.
But winning in poker is not guaranteed. There is, well, a risk no matter how good you are.
Right, which is why it's gambling, yeah. He
Mhm.
says admitting you need help is not a sign of weakness because he's trying to get better so he can go home and be a better husband.
Yeah, and then she asks, "Does your wife know you're here?" And he says, "Well, I told a white lie because I sort of feel embarrassed about this."
And the coach tells him that he can't lie about it, and he insists he isn't. And we've talked about this before. A lie by omission is absolutely still a lie. It's a lie.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this lady's name is. I just kept calling her the coach or
Mm-hmm. Same.
um Marcelino says that all poker players lie, and she says not the ones who want to get better at the game.
She tells him he needs to be able to look himself in the face and tell himself he played that hand like shit.
Yeah, well, her theory here is if you don't take chances, you're never going to get better.
And he says he doesn't lie to make himself look better. He lies to make himself feel better.
Hmm. Yeah, she says poker can financially destroy you, and don't let what's happening at home distract you.
You would have to be, I mean, you'd have to be able to compartmentalize in order to focus.
Hmm.
Next, we're back to Lacey, John, and Shane asks the kids if they're ready for him to put the trampoline together for them.
Hmm. Yeah, and so this is like a Shane and Lacey's dad thing. They're doing this like father and son putting up this trampoline, and they're kind of talking about the whole shebang here that went down with he and Lacey, and he says that things have been like very tense between he and Lacey.
He tells her dad that he messed up, but she and the kids are his family and he doesn't want to lose her. Well, I mean, that's a big fuck up you did, Shane. Like, not only did you mess up, but then you didn't tell her.
Yeah. And I can understand why he didn't tell her, but I still don't understand why he did this. This is, I don't know. I just keep attributing it to his age and how long he spent in jail and that he was 17 when he went in. But I don't know if that's very good excuses for this at all. i- Dad basically tells Shane that Lacey told him about the cheating that he did before they got married.
Yeah. He says that he wasn't in his right state of mind and that he regrets it. That and a quarter will get you a fucking piece of gum. Like, that's not going to help you.
No. Dad says, "Well, are you happy with Lacey?" And Shane says, "I love her and I'm more happy than I've ever been in my life." You haven't had much life up till this. What are you
Right.
comparing it to?
Her dad asks him if it was just the one time, and he says, yeah. And her dad says, well, the one thing he knows about Lacey is that when someone hurts her, she usually acts out. And we've seen that.
Yeah, we absolutely know that he is speaking the truth. Shane says that Lacey is always with guys that treat her like shit all the time. Well, what did you do? Because that's treating her like shit too.
Cheating on her, not to, exactly. Her dad asks him if Lacey's being honest with him. And Shane's like, yeah, she's being 100% honest with me. Why would you believe that? I mean, are you that naive truly?
Yeah. Dad says that Lacey loves him and that the kids love him too. And I don't think Dad wants John to infiltrate this. He's trying to push Team Shane.
He's trying, yeah. He says, Dad says he wanted to tell Shane about John, but he couldn't bring himself to do it.
Yeah. Well, he's like kind of being sneaky though. He said, "Well, has she been honest about everything that's been going on?" Like
Hmm.
he's telling them, you know, when he's talking to Lacey and when he's talking to Shane, but not fully going, "Hey, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what he's saying. This is what she's saying."
You can lead a horse to water.
Yeah.
So she says that she feels like he's being phony and he's acting better now because he has nowhere else to go and he's trying to make sure that her dad stays liking him.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and especially because she knows how much her dad hates John, so he's just, like, feeding in on that is what she's saying.
And then she FaceTimes John and tells him to take his shirt off. How weird would it be for to like answer someone's FaceTime call and then just be like, take your shirt off? He looked like he was in public. Maybe he wasn't, but I don't know, man. He did it.
I'm gonna try that with you sometime. I'm just gonna randomly FaceTime you and just immediately say, "For sure."
I'm gonna do it no matter where I am. Next up, Andrea and Lamar, and apparently he called Squee, and when he walks in to give her the phone, he has to ask her whether she's willing to talk to Squee or not.
Yeah, it, this is where she was like, "Well, you told him what to say. You told him what to say," but
Mm-hmm.
there wasn't like enough time for that to happen. It was unless there was like a break in production.
Exactly. He tells her that he tells her that if she would talk to Squee, they could finally get past this. And she tells him that he told Squee what to say, like you said. And he's like, I called him on speakerphone in front of the cameras, man.
Yeah, yep. They could have this like like guy code, bro code where they're just like, "Hey, look, like if I ever call you, just say the condoms are yours."
I mean, it could be, but he knew enough that I believe him.
Yeah. So Andrea says that after not being together for 2 months, it is definitely possible that he's been cheating on me. But if he did cheat on her, that it's over. And then she says she doesn't want an STD. And I wrote in parentheses, well, he's clearly using condoms, duh.
If he was cheating, he's using condoms. But she says she believes him, but she doesn't. And she wants to be with him, but she doesn't. Well, that makes things easy for him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she doesn't want a prostitute as his sister wife.
I'm not okay. I'm not sure where that came from. Like, what in the actual
Uh-huh.
fuck are you talking about, Andrea? So Squee tells her that he's the one that left the condoms in the jacket, and she tells Squee that the only thing saving Lamar is that she's actually seen Squee wear Lamar's jacket in the past.
I guess, but this would all be like I don't know. You still can't say for sure. Let's just put
No.
it that way. You still, it's not like matter of fact sure that that's what actually happened.
So she tells him she feels stupid, and he says, was you acting crazy or not? She goes, what do you mean? And he goes, you just assaulted me. And she goes, nobody assaulted you. The fuck you didn't. You sure as shit assaulted that man. Was
This
you
just
acting crazy?
this just goes along with her delusional world that she lives in. No, I didn't poison the food. I didn't assault you.
Just say it, and it's true.
Also, it's on camera.
Right.
Oh, goodness.
She says 1 minute she trusts him and that they aren't his condoms, then the next minute she doubts it and thinks his brother's lying for him. You'll never know.
She's like, "Oh, this isn't what it was when you were in prison." Again, it's all about control, especially with Andrea. And then it was like this with Cheryl, too. They liked the fact that they had this caged animal that they just could throw money at and keep them in line because there were no women well, there were probably women COs or whatever, and that shit happens, but they could keep them away from what they feel is threats
Right.
in society.
Well, they control everything when they're in prison. They know exactly what's happening, or they think they do at least. They feel like they
Yeah.
have that sense. So Lamar asks Andrea if she still wants a divorce, and she says she doesn't know because the relationship isn't what it was in prison. Like you said, you can't control him.
Yeah, and he says, "Well, what do you want me to do? Sit in the closet and write you letters?"
Of course, that's what she wants. She goes, maybe. He goes, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah, he uh, you gotta give it to Lamar because even after all this, he's still not that angry. Like, he is angry, you can tell, but he has a tremendous amount of self-control.
Tremendous. It makes you wonder how he ended up back in prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Still can't find out why.
He must have just been living recklessly, taking chances that he shouldn't have been. He says that being off of parole and being in another state is kind of messing with his head because messing with her head because she doesn't have as much control over him while he's in LA. That makes sense.
Yeah, but you should have control over your life, but you shouldn't feel like you need control over your spouse or significant other. That's a terrible way to feel. And she's doing this to herself. She's feeling like in her life, she needs complete control over her partner or she's not happy. And why are you doing that to yourself? Yes, have control over your life, but you cannot have control over the whole actions of another human being.
Her trying to force him to move to Utah was proof that she doesn't have control over him. And I think that's when she really started to spiral.
Yeah.
But she does what we've never seen before, and she apologizes to him for acting crazy. So I was like, this was the first time I was like, all right, you've earned a little bit of respect from me.
I kind of feel like she actually realized that at that moment she could have done something enough to lose him. That's
Probably.
what that's what I felt. Because the fact that we've never seen her apologize, I think she actually feels like, "Oh shit, I might have crossed the line this time."
Well, she put hands on him. You know what I mean? And sometimes that is the line. She says it's clear after being separated for so long that there are issues in their marriage and it's too busy and there's too much going on, but she wants to be with him.
Hmm. Yeah, and apparently he was gonna leave. So it seems as if he was gonna leave. He says, "Do you want to go with me to the airport?" And she says, "No, I think you should stay." And he says, "Yeah, that's cool."
Yeah, it didn't take a lot of convincing. I mean, he wants to be in a relationship with her, but there is only so much crazy that anyone can handle.
Yeah, I think that he does love her, but I'm just wondering, would he have this much of a connection with her if they didn't have a child together?
That's a great question. Would it be easier
Yeah.
to walk away?
Mhm.
And we wrap this week up with Megan, Michael, Sarah, and Maria. And Aviana is coloring, and Sarah is playing with Rain on the couch as Michael walks in. He just lets himself
Mhm.
in.
Yep. Yeah, and the camera crew just so happens to be there. But E Aviana is showing Michael that she can write her name, and that's really cool. Because he's finally doing shit dad should do.
Somebody asked if the reason he calls his girls pretty girl is because he can't remember their name. And I kind of feel like sometimes that might be true.
I mean, yeah, because like I do that to my cats because don't like exactly know what names they came with from the shelter.
She says watching him play with the girls makes her think about how much better things could have been if he was around. I don't know that that's true. Like, if he had wanted to be with her, I think he would still be doing all of these other things. Like, it's probably a blessing for her and the girls that he doesn't want to be with her.
Yeah. I hate that like there's then this cute moment where like the baby's like eating Michael's hair.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I really don't want to see this guy doing anything cute and nice.
I know, because he's so awful. Aviana asks him if he'll sleep in her room, and he tells her that he'll spend the night. What?
Yeah. Yeah, he was supposed to leave, but he says he hasn't woken up to his girls in a minute. I'm when have you ever woken up with your girls?
You have definitely never woken up to rain, and I don't buy that you spent very many, if any, mornings with her
Yes.
or Sarah. I mean, basically,
Yeah.
how many nights did you spend in your marriage? He says that this may be uncomfortable with Maria because he's staying with his baby mama, basically his wife. Basically?
Yeah. Is
Two-time baby mama and wife.
factually your wife?
Right.
He lies to Maria and he says that Sarah's going to go out and that he's going to stay with the girls and babysit them basically.
Mm-hmm. And Maria's like, okay, you know, he says it should only take a few hours. I thought he was spending the night. Like, why would you not? You know what I mean? Like, is he just not going to come back to the hotel? What is he thinking here? What's the end game here, Michael?
I really want to know. I want to know what way it's going to go. I want to know if he's going to actually wind up spending the night or if he's just going to, like, I don't know, tell Sarah he's spending the night and then he's going to, like, randomly leave. I have no idea how this is going to go, but he's lying to someone. I just don't know who he's lying to right now.
I know. Is it Aviana, Sarah, Maria, everyone?
Himself.
Himself, definitely himself. Maria says she trusts him because he's been honest with her about so many things that he didn't need to tell her. She says everyone is where they want to be, and everyone in that party needs to move on and accept that it is what it is. She doesn't think anything is going on between Michael and Sarah, and she's not going to lose any sleep over it. Really?
Because she's a dumbass. Why would you ever trust this guy?
I I don't understand, man.
Yep, yep. Yeah, she's confident nothing is gonna go on between Michael and Sarah. Okay. And then Sarah says that from now on, if I call you, I just want you to answer. I mean, it's not a lot to ask.
It's not. I don't know why she thinks he's going to do it, though. She thinks that they've made this connection and that they can have real conversations. You can't have a real conversation with Michael. He's going to do whatever he wants to do, whatever benefits him in that moment.
I mean, she thinks they had some sort of a breakthrough and they just didn't. It doesn't happen that quick.
Not at all. They've gone to one therapy session that he walked out of multiple times. Sarah says that despite what has happened between them, there is a connection and it's magnetic pull between them.
Yeah, it's kept them together for 7 years, and then Michael says goodnight to the girls. It's seems like this all happened kind of quick, like, all of a sudden, it's, like, bedtime.
It's bedtime. He lays down with Aviana. She's not even asleep. He turns the light off and walks out of the room. What the fuck? Who are you actually there for, Michael? It's Sarah who wants you so bad, and yet you're the one who didn't go to sleep in Aviana's bed. Like, if Aviana was the reason you're staying the night, and even if you lied to Maria, if you went in there, laid down with Aviana, fell asleep, and stayed there the whole night, that's a much different story than what you did, because you got up, turned that light off, and went and talked to Sarah. You did that.
Yep. The next of course, the next scene that comes up, it's just Sarah with her big ass smile, and she says she's going to get a drink, or, well, I'm sorry, she's gonna go make a drink, I'm assuming alcohol, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she says she doesn't care about Michael's other women. Michael is still her man, and there's the answer right there.
Mm-hmm. And the episode ends with her laughing with Michael. Who is your VIP for this week?
The lady with the giant boobs that we don't know what her name is, that was trying to teach Marcelino to make more money for his family, because I really couldn't figure out who.
I chose Lacey's dad for telling Lacey that if she doesn't tell Shane, he's going to. I thought that was a brave thing to stay, like, get your shit together or I'm going to get it together for you.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And your POS?
No one was inherently awful in this. No one stood out for me, so I just went with Squee Bastard for leaving the condoms in Lamar's coat pocket if it was actually him.
That's a good one. I chose Cheryl just because I think this is my last chance to choose her.
Yep.
So that's about it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, head over to Apple or Spotify to rate and review. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our group on Facebook at Love After Lockup Locked Down. Listen every Wednesday wherever you find your podcasts and keep those notifications on to be the first to catch bonus episodes.
And in the meantime, don't fall in love.
And don't get locked up.
First date at Walmart, keeping it low. Told the clerk, don't judge me, I'm on parole. I brought roses, okay, 1 rose from a gas station. She said, oh babe, now that's validation. We be vibing in a halfway suite. Microwave dinners, romance elite. She my ride or die, she brought me a phone. Even snuck it in once, pre-release song. She hold me down like a key-o with charm. Except she don't mace me or twist my arm. We write vows in Sharpie on my court docs. Judge said no contact, but we beat the clocks. Love after lockup, cuffed and proud. Matching jumpsuits, now we rockin' the crowd. She said, don't mess up, I said, bet. Now we're TikTok stars with no regrets. So here's the love and second chance thrill. From a concrete bed to Netflix and chill. They said, don't catch feelings, but I caught a case of butterflies, girl, not just in one place. Ankle monitor beep. Oops, curfew gotta bounce.